Can you imagine getting 95% of your real estate business from YouTube? Well, listen up. Hey, everybody, Katie Lance here, and I had the pleasure of recently interviewing Eric and Julie Ziemelis, who are realtors out in beautiful Kona on the Big Island of Hawaii. They're with Keller Williams, and let me just tell you guys, these two are rocking it. They are absolutely killing it when it comes to YouTube. And in this video interview, we chat all about YouTube, how to build a YouTube subscriber base, some of the tips they're doing for really creating great content on YouTube. We take you behind the scenes. We give you lots of tips for YouTube for real estate agents, how to build your YouTube channel, and so much more. I know you're going to love this interview as much as I did. All right, let's get on with the show. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Get Social Smart show and the Katie Lance podcast. I am so excited. We have a really special guest, actually two special guests in the house today. I am super excited to welcome my dear friends, Julie and Eric Ziemelis. Very excited to have you guys with us today. These guys I have known for quite some time. Julie, I know I've known for probably a little bit longer than Eric, but I'm excited to have both of you here today. We're going to chat about YouTube. We're going to chat about real estate, and we're going to give you lots of great tips. So Eric, Julie, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's good to have us. It's always, this is like an honor for us, actually. The great Katie is asking us to help her.
Well, I'm excited to have you guys. You guys are killing it on YouTube and video. And I mean, Julie, I know you and I have been connected on social media for more than a decade. We were just at Inman together, and and it was just so fun to now really see both of you in action. So I'm excited to dive in and chat about it. So
yeah. In fact, the background on that one too, Kate, is the fact that I started out as the real estate association communications director when I met you, and then got my license to use all the digital marketing tips that you and I have learned about to finally do it and kill it in our own real estate business. So so I'm excited to share. So
yeah, it's been quite a journey for sure. So we're going to kind of dig right into it. I know, Julie, you've been described as kind of a lifestyle vlogger, and you're an expert in the real estate space. You guys are in Kona, Hawaii, the one island I've not yet been to, but I plan to one day. Can you share with our listeners how you started your journey in vlogging, and especially in the real estate niche?
Sure. Like I mentioned, I was the communications director for real estate associations, actually. So my background's in writing and public relations and marketing to start with. What happened was, interestingly enough, is that when we moved to Kailua, Kona back in 2010, I had heard that creating lifestyle marketing for real estate was the way to go. And so I was training realtors around here on social media, and I kept telling people, you should start a 365 channel because it's real estate marketing, with lifestyle, and nobody did it. And so I'm the little red hen that said, then I'll do it myself. So I created 365 Things to Do in Kona back in 2010. And I started building that around the fact that I love to go places, and I would just tell people the fun things I was doing and seeing and experiencing. And then it started growing. In fact, Katie and I had gone to an event in Waikiki, like 2014, I think. And I was playing for the audience of like 500 at that point. And since then, I have over 30,000 followers on that page now. And when people, and also when we got here, there weren't that many people on social media. So I was the thing. And Eric, like as I was growing into it, Eric was like, why don't you use your little videos? Because what I was doing, I was taking little videos too. And
365 Kona minutes.
Right.
Just a little snippet of the world.
Right. And so what I was doing, I was not getting on camera myself. I was like saying, it's not about me. It's about the view, or about this or that. And so I was doing that for a couple of years, and people really liked the short form video. And that was before Reels and before TikTok. And so I'm the OG of small 30-second things. So then Eric, about 2 or 3 years ago,
2018.
said, why don't you get in front of the camera?
A little before that. Yeah, that part we did a little before that, probably
Right.
a couple of years before
And
that.
so when I was doing the 365 Things to Do in Kona Facebook group, I was also had created 365kona.com. And then I was using my writing to really build up like restaurant reviews, or how to do things, or things to do with kids, and more kind of almost like what people would want to do when they're visiting Big Island. And then people started saying, you make real estate, you make the Big Island look so good, sell me a house. And that's when I'm like, I can't do that because I don't have a real estate license. So we ended up referring it to a few of my real estate friends. And one of them specifically has kind of like become a mentor. And after a few years, he said, you have referred me over millions of dollars of real estate. You should get your real estate license. So I'm like, I don't want to be a realtor. And so Eric got his license. And so we started just referring through Eric's real estate license. And then one of our friends that you might know, Scott Shang, had come to the island and said, you know what, you guys love to hike, you guys love to be the outdoors people. Why don't you do a lifestyle YouTube channel around the things that you love to do? And people will naturally gravitate to you because you're doing the things that you love to do. And so we created 365 Hawaii on YouTube. And that was started about 3 years ago.
No, 2018.
2018.
Yeah, and our first video was on the top beaches of Hawaii. Just because the Big Island is different than a lot of the other islands, is that we don't have a lot of people, and there wasn't a lot of people doing vlogging on the island at all. So everything was kind of quiet. So that video, you know, kind of took off and kind of got us going. And then we said, well, we should do more. And so we continued on and doing, you know, when sort of inventorying and checking out things. And then we also realized that they really liked information about the town, right, of what was going on. And so we kind of included that. So we were kind of everything having to do with Hawaii.
Yep. And then the reason we called it 365 Hawaii instead of 365 Kona or even West Hawaii was our buddy Scott said, don't just be the voice of Big Island. It's a real estate professional. If you can control the whole state, wouldn't that be nice? And what I learned was you can't control the whole state. You just can't. You got if you're going to be authentic, you have to be the king of your own neighborhood. And
especially because we're so different than Oahu. I mean, you can't, you know, if you did a video on both of them, it's kind of one of the successful for us is comparing the different islands around. It's been kind of interesting.
Yeah, we've had thousands of views on that, and so the trajectory was that we started just doing the things that we knew and loved, and we on that. Best beaches on Big Island got over 60,000 views so far. And so then from that, that's how this goes right back into real estate, is the fact that again, then they even got a bigger audience of people looking what we were doing on YouTube. So now we have the Facebook group and we have the blog going, and now we've got the YouTube channel going. And then we started getting people saying more through YouTube than anything else, sell us a house. And so people started just saying, you know what, and this is how they say always in real estate, know, like, and trust. So by the time that we were showing the fun and not going, oh, and then buy us a house, buy a house from us, we just were like, you know what, we're just being ourselves, enjoying the things that we enjoy. And this was in 2020 and a half. And so in 2020 and a half, the pandemic hit, and we were the ones out there droning the empty beaches in Hawaii. We were the ones sharing information about what was going on in the islands and the closures and everything else. And then we found out that there was a taste for the dramatic, and we have been the people on the ground. And again, this doesn't happen in most people's metro areas. There is no news service on this island. We do not have a camera crew that's going to go down and check out the tsunami or the volcanoes or whatever. So we became the news crews. And so we're the natural disaster news crew. So we were showing everybody what it was like to be in pandemic land on Big Island, and people ate that up, and we got a lot more views. The channel started to grow. And then in 2021,
let's talk about the sunsets.
Yeah, I will say in 2021, that's when the phone calls started coming in. Sell us a house. What we did was also during 2020 is we had moved into a house with a beautiful view. And we felt that we wanted to share that view with people that were trapped in their houses all over the United States and actually the world. And we started doing a daily sunset podcast kind of thing, a video cast.
I remember this.
Yeah, so we got behind the camera and just said, here's the sunset. Oh, it's pretty. And we didn't let it get political. We didn't talk about masks and vaccinations on kind of crap. If I even tried to go there, it's like, oh, that. And so we were just talking about, oh, it's nice to be in Hawaii and hope you guys are doing good. And then people were coming in and talking to us through the chat, and they loved having their names called out. Can't even tell you. So what we learned from that was, remember how people started telling us they saw us?
that's how they saw us. And then of course they would spread our YouTube channel around as well.
Yeah.
It kind of transferred. So it's, social media is all kind of connected. And what's interesting is we've got a wide reach of different things. But it's also interesting on how different people like different things. We always thought it'd be the same people on both channels, but it's not. I mean, we have a different followings. The majority of women are on Facebook and the majority of men are on YouTube, and it definitely comes across. And even the demographics of age varies on platform too, even though we're putting out the same content on both.
Right. So after the pandemic was over, people started coming back to the island and actually wanting to meet with us, and they were saying things like this: "You saved my life during the pandemic with those sunset updates." We did it every single day for 5 months. And, it kept us kind of going too. But when people were saying, you know what, we went out and bought a 58-inch television so that every night we could watch your sunsets. And they would sit down with their family and watch the sunsets. And we're like, oh, sometimes you don't know what kind of impact you have on people with YouTube. The ripple effect. And so a few of those people said, you guys did such a great community service. We want you to be our realtors.
Wow.
And so that became a really big thing. And in fact, this continues on. People said, as soon as I'm ready to buy a house, I know to call you guys, because you guys, gave it your all during the time when people needed it.
Yeah, we've become, our fan base has been I don't say we have the biggest fan base, but we have a really loyal fan base. And, they are really, the people that are adamant about the Big Island really are. And, they talk about, do your channel that fits with what you do and don't go too big. And we're kind of an example that just by staying who we are, we have maximized the Big Island.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they say sometimes be the celebrity in your market, and people recognize us like at the airport. "Oh, you're Julie and Eric," and people will yell out 365 when they're driving down the street. We'll be like filming stuff in downtown, and people are like, "Oh my God, I've been following you for 5 years." So
that's awesome.
So yeah, and I don't think that everybody who's on your channel is going to turn into this experience. One is that we have a market that's it's a vacation market.
Yeah.
So people who are in second home and vacation market should be doing this like all the time, because if you're from Mammoth, or you're from Palm Springs, or if you're from Florida, if you have something beautiful in your natural setting to photograph and let people know how to enjoy it when they're there, people eat that stuff up on YouTube all the time.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is awesome. I love I've heard your journey many times, but I never get tired of hearing it, because
there we go. Yeah, just so you people know that we have almost 11,000 subscribers on our channel now.
Yeah.
And so when I was telling Katie back when I was playing to a group of 500, but before that 50, you have to just keep going. You just have to keep going, because I think that happens with realtors is that they try and find the shiny object that's going to get them immediate leads, and then it takes time, and then it takes effort, and then they give up. And we just kept going.
But also I think I think content creation is, in other words, if you're just saying I'm only going to put out real estate content, because we have two channels. We've got a real estate channel, and we've got a regular YouTube. But it does better to have a channel that covers everything. You know what I mean? For us, we found that it even just the fact that we're here was good enough to direct us towards real estate. Right. So
and so the two channels that we have are the 365 Hawaii channel, which is 99% lifestyle. And then we drop a couple ones in there about moving to Hawaii, and there's sometimes two, and drag them over to the other YouTube channel. And the other YouTube channel is 365 Hawaii Real Estate Minute. And that has about 2,500 subscribers on it. And what we have found is that the people who are past lifestyle and traveling and actually want to move here find that real estate channel. And then that's a really they watch all of our podcasts and our video casts. And again, loyal. In fact, so I have a group, my 365 Kona newbies group. And if anybody recommends another realtor in that group, my people come right in there and say, "Julie runs this group. She's the expert. You use her."
Well, it just speaks to your loyal community, and that's one of the beautiful things that happens over time.
It takes time, and that's just it. You have to be the expert. You have to show up and prove that you're the expert all the time by having really good content that's not self-promotional. And the ones that we've done the best, and the three things I think other realtors can do, what we do I think really well is we interview small business owners. and we go to like restaurant openings, and we really bring in the business community.
So yeah, we have a quarterly update downtown, and we talk about the new gas station that just came up that's coming in, and and the new restaurant, the Kona Village just opened, and that's a really, really big one around here. And so
yeah, and a climbing wall and
everybody's
restaurants.
like, oh my gosh, I've never knew all this existed, because if you only come here half time, then you wouldn't know all these little nuances of the things, and people tell us stuff. So that was it's been a good way. That's been one of our staples.
Yeah, so everybody out in YouTube real estate land could go out there and find new businesses, and it's a community benefit, really, because then even people who live in your area who could also be your clients are saying, wow, they're the ones who go out there and doing the stuff that not our news people are doing. And another thing that we do is and again, this doesn't happen to everybody, but we track down natural disasters every time. So we're the news crew, and as you guys can see what's happening over in Maui, there's a realtor over there who spends a half an hour every day meeting with people, talking to
And
people.
he's not talking about real estate. He's
just talking about what's happening in the community, how they're affecting things. And so he's
being a resource, being a valuable resource.
Yeah. And I think that's almost important than trying to push, selling or whatever you're kind of doing.
Yeah.
At least to get a larger reach.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also we oh, I like this one. We like to share information on how people can be better visitors.
Oh, that's great.
We talk about people showing aloha.
Topic.
Leave the entitlement someplace else besides Hawaii. But anybody in different, we used to live in Lake Tahoe. People who live in a tourist area experience will all have the same story about damn tourists. So if you're a realtor that's in the second home market, vacations hotspot, I'm sure that there's this thing about people coming in and, abusing the land. So if you're the guy that basically says, here's 5 ways that you can treat this space better and how you can be a better visitor. The locals love the fact that somebody is telling other people how to be a better person when they come and visit. And then that person says, you know what, because they care about how this experience is in our town. Again, know, like, and trust that you're basically being a PSA for how to keep the town intact. And then also when people are doing this for real estate too, throw in that whole, how do you move here successfully, things to avoid, pitfalls, pros and cons. People love that, so in fact, if you're in any market, I saw somebody doing it. We were thinking about sending our son to 3 or 4 different places in America, and we were thinking about buying a second home ourselves to wherever the university is. So I started seeing who was doing what, and I'll tell you, there's not much going on in Corvallis, but but Austin and Seattle, I mean, places where I don't know what the real estate market is, and I don't know what the lifestyle is there. And there's a couple of realtors really killing it in those different housing markets with lifestyle, not just saying, let's buy you, sell your house. So
explaining the differences, explaining different neighborhoods, all the different nuances of what it's like to live there. I think it's a huge opportunity. And that's a really good segue, because I was going to ask you guys about the content creation process. And I know you both are involved in it in different ways. I wanted to kind of throw this to Eric though, because I know there's
he's the filmer.
So maybe you guys could touch on like the role each of you play in that content creation process.
So funny story is that my background is I'm an artist and a sculptor and a furniture builder, and I did that for 25 years. And unfortunately, when I came to Hawaii, it became very difficult to continue that path just by nature. There's just not enough people here to support that kind of business. So during that time, I needed something that would be sort of creative. And then Julie, was always going to be, was always doing, the blog and the 365 things. And she's a great writer, and that's what it has to do. And then I said, well, I could probably put a video together. And so I did, and I kind of realized that it was very similar to sculpture. And there's this idea where you go out and you capture things. And it's the same way when I did a lot of found objects that were changed. So I'd go out and find these things, and then you'd have to kind of figure out where you're going to go with them. And you put all these different segments together. And then finally you come up with and you have to refine it. And it's very similar to video. And so it sort of it gave me my creative freedom to do it. And also I learned about drones, and this is when drones were just they're slow. I mean, they're they've been evolving, but I got sort of in the middle of the swing of that. And to me, it was just a really great way to also to show the beauty of Hawaii here, of how spectacular it was, and to be able to get it in. So I learned most of my skills on YouTube. I mean, it was just kind of like, I had to figure this out, and there's nobody teaching any of that around here. So here we go, let's get back to YouTube. So it just kind of worked out that I sort of took over we work out what the content is going to be, what our video is going to be about, and we have a big discussion on the subtleties of how this particular video is going to go.
I'm like, that's not going to fly. So I guess it will. I'm like, oh God, that doesn't work.
All right, well, why don't you tell the one that you got?
Okay, I tell you guys, it's a funny one. We have a thing here called Lahaina noon, and it's when the sun is right overhead, where it doesn't cast a shadow.
It's one of the one places in the United States where the sun shines straight down for 5 minutes, and that's it.
Okay.
Right? Twice a year. Okay.
I'm like, why does someone want to see a video like that? So he takes me down to a local beach, and I'm like, oh my God. And so we're like, he puts a stick, and the stick's like this, and then the little shadows like this. He's like, see, it's standing straight up. And I'm like making fun of them. I'm putting like little rocks, and like, like a runway for the stupid little shadow. And we put it out there, and oh my God, it was a hit.
Wow. So
all these science people loved it. And we get this phone call from this one guy, and he's like, oh, I'm thinking about buying a $7 million property in Hawaii, and I'm a science geek, and I saw that video. Can we talk? And I'm like,
wow.
What the hell? So you never know. You just like, the things that you think might be interesting to somebody else as well. So
yeah. So we film it together, and then from there, I kind of once you film a video, it doesn't mean that that's quite the full story. The story is kind of done in the editing and how it's all going to fit together and what you choose to focus on. So I kind of do a basic outline, and then Julie and I go back at review it, and then I get the either yay or what happened here or whatever, and we have a little bit of a discussion to it. But it works out okay. So in general, I take the YouTube things, and she takes the writing part. And since I'm a dyslexic and don't write very well, it's a great combination of. And I laugh because
perfect match.
Yes, and for me, I was always like, well, you're always better because you can write better than me. But I'm all my videos do better than all your writing. So there we go.
I love it.
And he was able to quit his full-time job because the YouTube videos were doing so well with his real estate. We kept getting all the people, and so he was.
And just for perspective, we put out one long video a week, and I think what people don't understand is that it just doesn't happen quickly. A long video there's a lot of time that involved, and there's probably for filming we usually film probably 3 to 6 hours depending on how far and what we do, because we don't just do one place sitting in there. We're kind of always about and going out, and then I'm going to say there's probably at least 6 to 10 hours in production to get it, by the time you finally get it up there. And I think that's what people kind of miss, is that it's, and what I found personally is that it reminds me a lot of what I used to do, which was furniture, and furniture was a lot of time consuming things. So I'm fine with spending hours doing, doing color matching or whatever the heck it is to get there is how it is.
I love him.
Yeah.
So I have to interrupt because I know that there's someone listening to this going, oh my gosh, I don't have that time. Like, how do they carve it? They're a real estate professional. Like, how, work. Yeah. So can we just, I know I didn't put this on my list of questions that I was going to ask you, but how do you carve out that time? Do you just put it on your calendar? Do you make it a priority? Do you fit it in between like other stuff you're doing? I'm just dying to know, because I love that you are totally honest, because the time, it does take time with that.
It does take time.
Can I start on this one?
Go ahead. You're the guy. Just spent 6 hours doing these things.
So for us, I got into real estate because of this. In other words, and because it started doing well, I was like, it wasn't on my radar that I was going to become a realtor. It turns out I'm not bad, and I actually have a lot of skills to do it. Then when I was in Hawaii, what my job was before was I was a manager of a condo association. And I did 3 of those, and that was fine with me. But then once I got into here, I find that personally that this is what drives the machine. And if we run out of time, then what we end up doing is we farm the real estate out. We do a referral instead, because keeping the YouTube running is much more important than doing the deal, which sounds kind of weird, but it propels us forward. And if we could, at one time, we had probably 4 or 5 or 6 deal referrals going at the same time. So that would make up for the time you do it. So you're shifting your priority. Instead of just, I'm not trying to get a deal, I'm trying to keep a flow going here. It's kind of keeping your pipeline open, as the saying goes, right? And for us, that was the more important than finishing up the one particular item of doing the real estate deal.
Yeah. In fact,
Such a great mindset.
Yeah, and you get this, if you guys work in teams, I mean, obviously we're a team, but our referral partners are our team. We have like 4 or 5. And when it was 2021, 22, when things were really cooking, they were making $300,000 to $400,000 a year off of us. That's how
we didn't do that many deals. I mean, at the end of the day, we even now it's slow now, but
it's slow.
We would our goal is to do only 2 deals a month, right? Of us doing it, and then the rest would send out.
Yeah, so that way we could keep. So basically, we became the rainmakers with the video channel, and so that way it was all coming in, and we were like, okay, well, we'll take these 2 and then pancake out the rest with referrals. But also, what Eric is. The fact that he got his drone pilot's license, I mean, that just took a thing, so
just for anybody, it sounds like, a drone pilot, ha ha ha. Well, it's 2/3 of the way to a pilot's license. It's actually, it actually took some time and energy to get that. That wasn't totally easy on top of that. So, but anyways, but it's for me, it's been a fun journey to learn all this whole new thing. And I kind of also feel like I'm connected. One thing about being in Hawaii was we really feel alone. We're a small community that's far away from a lot of different things, and the YouTube and the internet has brought us a lot closer to a lot of different people. And I feel like I'm part of a community that the vlogger community, which is great. And we even though I don't actually see these people, relate to them over the internet. So I've enjoyed this process a lot because of it.
Yeah, and also dollars and cents. We don't spend a penny on advertising, and we've brought in.
It's huge.
Yeah, I mean, we went from 0 to like, I'm not gonna tell you exactly, but there's a lot of money in that. And I have to say thank you, because Katie actually helped me with an idea that she helped me actually formulate with the referral business, but changed our lives. So thank you. But the fact is that most agents maybe say, well, I don't want to do all the work that you guys are doing. There's somebody here in town who's killing it though too. What he does, he literally, and this is what any realtor can do. He goes out with his iPhone and he goes to the best listings that are on Caravan, and he films them. And he kind of got himself off because he's not, let's say he doesn't look that great on camera. So he decided to get behind the camera instead. And he put his listings up on YouTube, and people love real estate porn. Boy, they love some real estate, especially in Hawaii. And he's actually killing it in terms of subscriber base more than we are.
Wow.
Like 16,000 people. And so he looks like the guy that you'd want to call for $1 million houses, because he's out there filming them, and they're not his own listings. Realtors, you can videotape other people's things, and you say, hey, if you want this house, come talk to me. And he became the rainmaker for his own team as well. And he ended up being able to funnel all the phone calls down to other people in his office. And that's just with his iPhone and going on Thursday afternoons and videotaping homes. And then also with realtors too, that if they don't have the time to do this crazy production experience, they can be like me. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it sounds like an interesting thing. I'm going to videotape that right now. And then you can use the camera app, like what's it called? Apple Movie.
Oh, iMovie.
iMovie.
CapCut's another.
Yeah, and then you can put like 2 or 3 little segments together and put that out on YouTube, and you can like upload your videos right from your phone onto YouTube. This could be like a 15-minute experience, and then you start going, okay, I'm getting used to this, and we started with basically an iPhone, and then Eric started getting good at it, and then he bought a bigger camera, and then we got the microphone.
It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah, no, and you learn as you go along. And and even questions like, how long do you make your videos? I mean, these are questions. And for a while we were making 5 and 6 and 7 minute videos, and we found out that our audience was willing to watch 15 to 20 minute videos, right? So then we kind of figured out what they wanted to see, and kind of tailored it to them.
So back at Inman, I know, Julie, we were enjoying some cocktails and having some good conversation, and we were talking about YouTube, and you said something to me kind of in passing, and I was like, wait, did she say that? You said something along the lines of how you are getting about 90% of your business from YouTube, like that's, and you kind of alluded to it a second ago when you said how you don't spend $1 for advertising. So can you verify that stat?
Yeah.
Also just like,
in fact, I think it was 95% of our business.
95%. Okay, so I just would love for you to, we kind of touched a little bit on that already in terms of like how your business is coming from that, but anything else you want to kind of expand on,
Can I,
as far as
can I
like
start on that?
Eric
your
watches
channel?
the analytics like 5 times a day. It's
So-
sick.
So, the reason it works this way is that most people that if they're going to move to a new place, it doesn't matter whether it's BPY or wherever, they will always go to the internet first to find out about it.
Yeah.
And so, and by doing that, we dominate our
market.
our search criteria. Anything having to do with Big Island Hawaii, you'll find us somehow. I think we're at 250 videos, so we've got a lot of content out there. And so because that all kind of leads to the same place, and then it is that funnel that we talk about, and it starts with the YouTube video, and then they can go to the buying group, and then from the buying group they can kind of go there. So
they can go to 365hawaiiliving.com.
so it just kind of filters down, and then by the time they see them, they have already chosen us as a realtor because they've seen all of our videos. They know us. You know what I mean? That's kind of,
And this is how the beauty of video goes.
Right.
Know, like, and trust.
Yeah.
And when you show up in your own personal, authentic little self, like, you know, everyone loves Eric. I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I get it. I'm over the top. I'm freaking.
I don't believe it. I
But
love
by
you
the time
both.
people call us, they know, like, and trust us because we are authentic selves, and we say things that we've gotten in trouble with realtors in the area. During 2021, we were like telling people, don't come, don't move here. Don't travel here, because it was such a horrible sentiment about people coming here, right after COVID, that we just told the truth. And when I see people who call us, they say, you know what, we like you because you told the truth. We can trust you because you tell the truth.
Authentic.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
love
so, and I think people look for that. And I think that 90% of realtors will be like, oh, everything's great, la, la, la. But when you're the one that says, you know what, maybe you need to think twice. And they go, oh, okay, you're not trying to sell me a home. And so when we were at Inman, we did a video afterwards. We kind of like put the whole thing together, and we said, this is what's kind of happening. And we took some words from what was coming off on stage, and we actually got pushback. People were like, oh, you guys are talking the company line. You know, like, every day is a good day to buy real estate. And so we're like, okay, so we took that down, and we're going to probably just basically say, now's the time to get your finances in order and the whole thing. But I'll tell you, when people actually call us and say, I've been watching you guys for a long time. And a long time ago, when we first started doing digital marketing in the space, they called it crumbs. Digital crumbs.
Yes. Yep.
And that you sprinkle a little in Instagram, you sprinkle a little in Facebook, you sprinkle a little bit about, lead magnets. My lead magnet is the book I wrote, How to Move to Kona. And that has gotten me all kinds of stuff too. Because then again, it was like this. If you're going to come, here's ways to save money. Here's the churches. Here's the things to do for kids. I put it together because I told realtors, somebody should write a book on how to move to Kona. The little red hen. I guess I'll do it myself. So
do it yourself, exactly.
Yeah. And so if you're not a writer, I mean, that's another thing too. Now that with ChatGPT, ChatGPT says basically we'll write a book for you. So if somebody really wants to take this idea, and I'll give it away for free every freaking day. If you want my book on how to move to Kona, I will give it to you, and you take the chapter headers and you make one for your own town, and ChatGPT will help fill in those spots for you. And it doesn't have to be a 40-page book. It's something that you use a lead magnet. And also then you tell people in that book, go see me on YouTube, go find me on Instagram. Here's my website. I sell real estate. And that way it just all folds back into marketing to get you back to where, people want to find you to sell, buy and sell a home.
Yeah. I want to ask you two last questions as we get to the end. I know we could probably talk for another 3 hours about all this, but I wanted to ask you about your use of storytelling. So it's one of the things that I really love when I see both of your channels. And I think it's, Eric, you spoke to how people have an appetite for longer videos on your channel. And I would imagine part of it is it's not just facts and figures. You have a really unique way that you come about in terms of storytelling on camera, and also I would imagine in the editing process. So
yeah.
I would love if you could kind of talk a little bit about.
For me, I was never assuming that I was going to be in front of the camera. This has never been my thought on this. And all of a sudden, Julie's up there, and I'm like, all right, I should get up there with her.
Right. Recognize Julie.
So the first time, Julie was like, and I'm like, you know what I mean? And it just didn't do it. But we kind of had to come to understanding that it wasn't just the Julie show, for what it was. But we kind of came up with a balance of where it was. And being on camera is I've enjoyed it, even in terms of learning how to do it and getting in there. But it definitely, the storytelling of it is, you kind of, I didn't realize that just by telling stories from where you are really conveys what's happening. And we've always had, from being here, we've been seeing a lot of stories, and just being able to present them to people that they wouldn't normally see has been great. We had one where we had like 15 unusual facts on Kona, and we were able to spew all these weird things like no building is taller than a palm tree. You know what I mean? And we've learned all these things. So we just did a video of these interesting stories that we've heard, and of course everybody loved it. You know what I mean? Because it's about a place that they love.
Yeah. And also, like I said, there's always a story when there's a natural disaster involved. Sure. We get in the car, hey, the volcano's going off. Get over to Mauna Loa, and it goes nuts. And then when we went down, and we just like this week, we went and filmed the fire damage. What was happening up in Colorado Coast, and because we don't have a news crew, nobody had actually shown anyone what really happened up there. So we became the people that said, you know what, we're going to go out there with a camera, and we're going to show the burn scars and how close it came to the people's houses.
Yeah. And we don't quite know what the story is going to be like until we film it. A lot of times, I mean, we kind of have an idea. We're like, we're going to go do this. And then, but there is a story, you know what I mean? The story is us going up, checking it out. Here's what's going to happen. And then here's our journey along the way. And sometimes they're simpler stories. Sometimes they're more complicated, depending on what's going on.
Yeah. Sometimes we'll go, okay, what's an idea? Okay. The pros and cons of living on Big Island. And then we shoot different things, and we talk and la la la. And then he sits down and says, okay, what's the best way to make this so that, and then he's always looking for the analytics. You don't want people to drop off in the first 15, 20 seconds. Yeah. So you put all the good stuff up front, right? Yep. And then pull them in, and they stay there, and then they figure they like you, and then they'll continue on. But we have learned through trial and error that when you try and start with a place where they don't care about, then you lose them. And then you go, well, I just spent 20 minutes on this video that nobody was watching. So then we kind of say, okay, what worked? And so we look at the analytics, right? About where people are dropping off, when they're coming back in. And so that's kind of what's it called? Inform the decision on what we do for content. And that's another thing too, that if I was suggesting this to your people, just do a variety of things. Like do the houses, do the lifestyle story, do the businesses, and then see what sticks. Yeah. And then do more of it. We've always said, you know what? If we got 10,000 people who watched that fire story, and we're like, okay, they love it when we tell them what's going on that nobody else is covering. That's one. Yeah. And then we had, 30,000 people look at the new businesses video one. So we were going, let's do that quarterly. People love that stuff. Sure. But when we do things that are kind of like what one failed. I think we had a complete failure of the one we got in trouble with. We said secret beaches. Don't do those.
Yeah. Well, and this leads to just one other thing that is interesting where we hear in Hawaii is that realtors are not regarded in the highest esteem here on this island. And just this goes, I mean, we see it now in Maui that as well is it's the idea that we're selling the island out, right? And so so we run a fine line. That's primarily why we chose to make two channels out of our thing, because we wanted to keep just the real estate part separate, so we wouldn't get in trouble. And that was a much smaller, so it has a lot. There's a beauty of not having a large reach. Sometimes you have a little more freedom to kind of not be so political.
Yeah, you guys out there in the world don't have to worry about the cultural sensitivity of.
But there was a time even on our main channel that we got a lot of kickback for just showing the island. You know what I mean? And for us, there was a point in time where like, man, if I keep getting this much, we had to sort of change of who we are and what we did. Otherwise, I was going to stop doing videos because it was
the comment for
you just have to make sure that you're not you're in harmony with where you're at as well.
Yeah, and we had some of our hard pushing realtor and mortgage friends. Who cares? Just keep doing it. Screw the comments. I'm like, we want to live in this community. So we have it's walking the fine line. And I think that another thing too is that if you have, let's say you live in, I don't know, Sarasota Springs or something, and you have a bunch of tourists anyway, and you're already kind of going on the tourist thing, and then now you're selling more people to move there and to visit there, then there is that pushback of saying, you know what, stop. We don't need more promotion of what we already have.
You are part of the community and have to state your videos that way.
That makes sense.
And you can just tell people, I know that some people we don't have enough housing.
Yeah.
Doesn't have enough housing. And then even being the guy that says, we don't have enough housing, but there's a new housing development that's coming up, and let me tell you about it. and then show the floor plans, talk to the developer, talk to the people that are going to be, benefiting it from it, not just the realtors, but always find a way that's not salesy and promotional, but educational and informative, that you become a resource for those people that need the information.
I think what we learned is that YouTube is not about selling anything. You know what I mean? It's about telling your story, telling about what's going on, and that enough is enough to sell it. That does fine. You don't have to push it. And for a long time, we even battle about this even today of how much push we push towards real estate. You know what I mean? It is. It's interesting.
Yeah. And then Katie, going back to storytelling too, that everybody's got a story. But one thing about what we learned at Inman too was that story first. People are drawn in by authenticity. We kind of sometimes throw in what happened, why we got to Hawaii. We give them a little something every now and then. And then when people meet us in person, they start going, okay, so how'd you guys get to Hawaii? Tell us a real story. And so we're gonna try and like put a little bit more about what we do on a regular basis, because I think people like that. So if you show who you are, because I know that sometimes realtors go, I don't want people to know my business. Well, people like to know your business. So you can give them a little something.
Right. So my last question is, I'm sure there's some people listening who either don't have a channel or have thought about getting a channel, or they've had a channel and they need a jump start. What advice would you give to someone maybe in that situation?
I can start with that. First of all, I would say quality content does matter. You know what I mean? Gone are the days where you sit there and you got your phone and you're getting the thing and the wind is blowing, you can't hear anything and stuff like that.
That's how I started.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. That was a good time way back when. But the bar is the bar. What I've learned is the bar is high on YouTube to get your video seen compared to somebody else's and to be honest with you, we have less views now than we did 3 years ago, because YouTube has gotten so there's just so many videos out there, right? And they're pushing the ones that are the biggest ones. So you kind of have to understand that. And the other thing that I'm going to say is you have to play along with YouTube to move forward too. And a lot of people will say, I'm doing my video, that's what I'm not, and I'm only going to do this. You have to do, there's a kind of a little bit of it, you have to blend with what YouTube wants you to do, which sounds kind of weird. And I always laugh, it's kind of this big brother thing that says, well, now you're going to do some shorts. And I'm like, I really don't want to do shorts. You're like, yes, you do. And you're like, all right, I'll do some damn shorts. You know what I mean? But example, like that was one thing that we started adding recently, and YouTube has been they like that, so they've been helping. You know what I mean? Versus not, and if you don't do one YouTube ones, they'll park you in a parking stall and you'll never go anywhere. You know what I mean? So it's at least being aware that it's not just it's not just about making content. It's not just about making good content, but if you're going to go in strong and try to do as best quality as you can, and also find things that people are interested in, and and it can be hyper local. And there's things that I'm always surprised at how well they do, but it's one of those. And at first maybe the shotgun approach does work to kind of see what's going to go out there. But if you, and there are we do TubeBuddy as another one to kind of find out what some of the demands are out there. And
you put in your what you want the business, the video to be about, and it'll tell you kind of like a score. This is what people are looking for on Google for that thing that you're trying to put in there, and it gives you an idea of where you should go with your content.
And the answer is, since it is so hard to get out there, as much tools and benefits you can get to help get it out there does make it.
Yeah. And then if I could say also, before, I know that you're going to be doing a class on TikTok coming up here. I would say that's growing, that realtors who are like telling people about what it's like to be in real estate or about their community, fantastic. But I will say that I have never gotten someone to call me off of Instagram, and I don't really get a lot of people getting me off of Facebook. So if you're going to throw in on YouTube.
Yeah, this goes back to being authentic and being a real person. And the long videos for us have been very successful in the sense that you really get a chance to know who we are.
Yeah. And then you have to promote this stuff. You guys can't just put out stuff on YouTube and don't tell anybody about it. Put out the fact that you just did 3, and then I always say load your channel first. Do at least 3 or 4 videos before you start telling people about your channel. But then use your email distribution system. I built mine up to 1,000 people. I say, who wants to get the calendar of events, and then I'll throw in 1 or 2 lifestyle videos too, and I go out to all my email list, and then those people will share it from there too. And so this isn't the one, like we always talk about, Katie, we're like, you got to almost like kind of have your media channel when you're a realtor. And that's how you create your own brand, because you are no longer part of your broker's brand. You're your own brand, right? Yeah. And having a chance to say, okay, I'm going to be thoughtful on creating the video, but making sure that video link can go to other people in different ways. And that's through your Facebook page. Let's say email marketing, word of mouth. You start creating something that's valuable and people will start talking about it. And if it's good, then more people will share it.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to tell people about it. I think there's a myth that, all of a sudden you just start putting videos on YouTube and you're going to get a bunch of views.
And people are going to find them.
And people are going to find you. And I always equate it to like jumper cables. Like you have to put jumper cables on your videos, and you have to share them on to your email list. Like, I love that you mentioned that. You have to share them to your Instagram stories, Facebook, LinkedIn, like, that's where those sort of the distribution place comes into play. And especially with your videos, a lot of your videos, you've got videos on your channel that you produced months or years ago that you can still share. They're still relevant. They're still.
In fact, we are completely missing the bus on repurposing old content. In fact, and Katie can like have a conversation with you guys about hiring a VA or get somebody who's going to help you. We're looking for that. But we could be doing so much more with the video that we're creating. And we just and you guys listening to us, people tell us all the time, do you guys ever sleep? Where are you on drugs? So it's all, if you have to do marketing if you're going to be in real estate. That's all there is to it. And you decide where you're going to put your time and effort. And we're here to tell you, if you're going to put time and effort into something, it doesn't cost a lot of money besides your time, and you're learning a little bit of something. YouTube is killing it. And we're seeing it on a variety of spaces around here. We put some money into like Facebook advertising. We got like 4 leads. On YouTube, people calling us. We know we love you, but no one love you. No one love you. In fact, I was going to go door knock. I sold a house up in a neighborhood, and my company said, go door knock around the area. And I put it on Facebook. I'm like, what do you think about this door knocking thing? Oh my God, everybody shut me down. They're like, oh, the last thing I want is someone knocking on my door.
Yeah.
And then what we found out was, by the time that someone finds you on YouTube, they're looking for that information. You didn't interrupt knocking them, and then they say, okay, well, I'm looking for this information at this time. You're there. You've given me some content. Now I'll call you.
That's a really great point. They're looking for it and you show up, right?
Right. When they're searching on the old, and that's one thing. Okay. So we talk about this, that you're putting out to your own sphere of influence. And yes, if you are writing something consistently, you keep talking about, let's say Austin or something. When somebody types in how to move to Austin or something, there's a good chance SEO is going to work for you and your stuff is going to pop up. And as soon as you guys all know this, as soon as they hit that one video, they're going to keep getting more of your stuff, because that's how it goes.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Well, this has been awesome. I can't thank you enough for your time. I mean, again, we probably could have gone another few hours going through all of this stuff. For all of our listeners, whether you're watching on YouTube or whether you're listening to the podcast, we will make sure to link Eric and Julie's YouTube channels, plural, below. And as we get to the end, is there any last things that you guys want to say to wrap up, or any places you'd like to direct people if they want to get in contact with you?
We do referrals. You got somebody who wants to move to Hawaii. We got friends all over the entire island chain. We specialize in West Hawaii. We also have referral partners in East Hawaii, where houses are about $450 for new construction. So if you're looking for affordable, East Hawaii is the last bastion of affordability in Hawaii.
The entire island chain.
Yeah. So yes, we work on that. And also, if you have people, we take very good care of them. We have a Kona newbies group, a Hilo newbies group, a Kahalo newbies group. We bring people in, we give them community, and that's another give back as realtors.
As a matter of fact, why don't you tell them what we're doing this weekend?
And real quick, you guys, we're actually taking a bunch of people up to go stargazing in Mauna Kea. And we do that almost on a monthly basis at the new moon. And then on Saturday, we're doing a barbecue potluck. And so I put together these big events, probably quarterly, and it gets people together and they start talking. And again, you're the hero. And I know that our company, Keller Williams, always says you have to touch people like 32 times. And so opportunities where you can do events and then you can promote them on your social channels. And then people say, oh, aren't they great? And so it's created opportunities. People have friendships and then they think you're a star. And because they now feel like they're connected, that's another realm of, long-term marketing.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
You're crazy. We're just,
I love it. I love it. Well, we will drop a bunch of links. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, first of all, if you enjoyed this episode, hit the subscribe button and the bell button so you get notified. We have new videos that come out each and every week. And make sure you check the description, because we're going to put all these links, all this contact information. If you are thinking of moving to Kona, or you've got referrals, or you just want to lurk a little bit and see what they're doing on.
Take our ideas, give it away. Like I said, we'll put you the link on the book too. If they want if they want a free PDF of my book, and also I wrote a book on buying real estate on Big Island, they can take that PDF and they can like basically take the entire idea and do it for their own content, for their own communities.
Oh, that's so generous. Thank you. I love that. I love it. And for our listeners, if you're listening to a podcast, if you're listening on Apple or Stitcher or wherever you're listening, we would absolutely love if you leave us a review. Reviews do matter. They do count. We would appreciate that. And as always, the best thing you can do is share this out. If you enjoyed this conversation, share it on social media, share it on Facebook or Instagram. Tag me, tag Eric and Julie. Let us know what you liked, and we would love to hear from you. So thank you guys so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us. I hope this helps some people. We always, that's the whole thing why you're doing this, is to help other people. And thank you for the work that you do in the space too, Katie.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. So thank you both so much. Thank you again, everyone who is listening. And if you are looking for additional training when it comes to social media, we'd love for you to check out our Get Social Smart Academy. You can go to katielance.com/academy. Check it out. And until next time, we'll see you soon. Thank you guys.
Aloha.
Aloha.